Great morning. Great morning. Great morning.
And welcome back to another episode of Great Morning. I'm your host, Christian Murmur, Murms, Murmdog, whatever the fuck you want to call me. And to the left of my computer screen, we have the boss, the pimp, the CEO, the truth, slightly special himself, Jimmy the Shooter. How you doing today, bro?
Man, what a great day.
Yeah?
No, it's not bad. It's not
bad.
Right? But you know how sometimes you wake up and you're like, wow, I wish I would have woke up a little bit earlier, you know? But then within that exact same thought, you're like, man, fuck it, I'm gonna snooze. And then you hit the snooze button and then it's like 2 hours later. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I don't like that thought coming from you because I already know you wake up at like 4:30 in the morning. So how much earlier did you want to wake up?
I got out right around 7:30, man. It was pretty nice.
Oh, wow. That's late for you.
I'm in the joints. I'm like, let's go.
How's your week been, man? I haven't talked to you in like a week.
Yeah, why is that?
Well, I was in New York City. I know that, so I was busy. But that was it. I was just in New York City for 2 days, and then everyone just went silent.
Yeah,
just because I decided to be gone.
Weird, that was weird because I'm pretty used to checking my phone and having a lot of like great morning messages, and I'm just like, what the fuck happened to my friends? Like, where's my family at?
By the way, New York City is fucking crazy. Again, we don't talk about this stuff, but I mean, like, they are checking the vaccination cards more than they're checking like IDs to make sure you're 21 to get into the bars.
Wow.
So I feel like if you're 16 with a vaccination card and like a fake ID, you could totally like just easily get into a fucking bar.
Damn.
It's pretty wild over there. But yeah, how's your week been, man? How's work been? I know you don't like to talk about work, but how's it been, man?
Man, you know, I'm kind of tired of a bunch of little shits, man, you know, just a bunch of little shits and attitudes. Mm-hmm. But, you know, there's always time for development, but work's been pretty cool. Next week, flying to Florida for like some advanced rescue procedures and shit. It's pretty dope.
You're going to be there a whole week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you guys want to come out to Florida for a week, I'll be there at Pensacola, man.
Yeah.
I think they have this thing over there too. It's called Floribama, where you just grab a fucking fish and you throw it across the state line. No idea.
That's a real thing?
That sounds like a Florida thing.
That sounds like...
Yeah.
Throw it
for
in
sure.
Alabama.
I've never heard of that.
That's pretty
much
cool. How I'm going though. I'm excited about today though. I'm excited about the podcast. You know, we're working with some real pros, man. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, we've got before. I just want to say one thing before we go ahead and introduce our special guests of today. People might have already noticed that I did not introduce Stephanie. She's got a lot going on. You know, we've talked about like, you know, setting up for her. She's having brain surgery soon. Yeah. So she's got a lot going on. She couldn't join us today, but she will be back, of course. Don't anyone worry. She's just got a lot going on right now. So Jimmy and I, we're going to handle this episode, the gruesome twosome, with our guests here. So
you know what? In memory of Stephanie, how about
in memory of?
Yeah. I'm not saying that or anything. You know, we don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So how about I do an impersonation of Stephanie? Maybe they'll get like a little feel, and then you bring her in, and we'll bring her essence to the show without her being in the show.
So do you want me to go ahead and introduce Stephanie right now, and then you pretend to be her?
Let's do it.
Okay, we can do that. All right. To the left of my computer screen, we have the fact queen, my sister from the East, that Puerto Rican mamacita from Spanish Harlem, Stephanie. Your Grace, how you doing today?
Gang, 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 gang. The fuck going on? You guys already know what the fuck happening out here. Your Puerto Rican mamacita. And you know, let me tell you about something, okay? I'm just out here. I got a fucking tumor in my head and shit. So, you know, but you know, it ain't nothing like that because God got something for me. God got something bigger for me. You know, papi?
That's not bad.
Burger, Great Morning Burger. Check me out on TikTok. And I'm just a great morning girl, and I'm just fabulous like that for everything. You know?
Yeah. I want to know what your, on another episode, I want to see your impression of me. Then, if you can,
we could talk about that later, but we can
discuss that. But that was pretty good. But again, shout out to Stephanie. We love her. Wish she was here right now, but she's got to set some shit up. But moving along, Jimmy, do you think it's time? I think it's time. You think it's time? Do you? Yeah. All right, I think it's time. I think it's time to introduce our special guests of the podcast today, and we've got two guests, right? All right, these guys. All right, let me tell you something. Fellow podcasteteers here. All right, they got their own podcast team. Like us over here at Great Morning. That is, of course, the team of Waiting in Queue. How you guys doing, Derek and Connor?
Pretty good.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, I love that clapping. Oh man, seriously, it's an honor to have you guys on. You know what's funny? I want to say something about the name of your podcast real quick. So I said that right because from listening to you guys, it's Waiting in Queue, right? That's how you introduce it, right?
Yeah.
I said that right. So most of my life, I've gone around saying that word is pronounced QA.
QA?
QA. Like
I've
when
never
I've
heard that
had
before.
games waiting in my QA, I said it's in the QA. And I've been saying that since I was a child and now, until now, as a grown man. So I'm glad you guys helped me with that.
Hey, that's
The Waiting in
what
Queue
we're here for.
podcast is a learning experience, I will say.
Yes. Seriously, I've been thinking it was spelt that way. But I mean, so you guys, more importantly, the podcast, you guys discuss video games primarily.
Yeah, I would say so. It's like video games, pop culture.
Yes.
We've been kind of like veering off to more of like a bantering style, but keeping it in those fields for sure. So,
which I really enjoy. You guys have a good, what's the word? Camaraderie, right? That's the word. I think. I hope that's the word. But yeah, I've been listening to a few episodes. You guys will talk. Yeah, you'll talk about video games, but then sometimes it veers off. I was listening to this episode 2 days ago, I think, where I forget you guys had someone on. And this guy was talking about,
oh boy,
you guys, this guy was talking about, I'm without saying a lot because I want people to go and listen to your stuff.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks.
But he was talking about dinosaurs. I don't know if that rings.
Oh
any
yeah.
bells.
Yep.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Knew exactly where this was going.
Yeah. That was a great episode. I was.
Yeah.
But I want to go into the origins of this. How'd you guys meet? Real quick, let's talk about that.
So Connor and I have learning disabilities, and
good.
we were in two different classrooms in our elementary school, and then we had to go to like the special room for special teachings. And on the way down this hallway, we just start talking about Xbox, and we're like, oh, we should hang out sometime. And then ever since then, we've been like video game buddies for
we went to high school together, and then we ended up actually going to the same college, which was in Chicago. And then we both came back home, and ever since we started doing the podcast, which was actually Derek's idea. I was 100% against it. I was like, I do not want to do this like at all. But
why?
I don't know. It's hard to convince me to do things that I'm not like just normally doing, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But it's like once I'm in them, I really enjoy it. So
okay. So and then the podcast started I'm sorry, Jimmy, go ahead.
Yeah, how long have you guys had your show up?
So go ahead, Derek.
There's kind of two answers to that, I guess.
Yeah.
So when we first started, I came to Connor with the idea of a podcast because our main goal has always been wanting to be like a Twitch streamer or be one of those content creators on YouTube. And always the thing that I like ran into when we're trying to like do research on how to grow an audience and stuff, they're always like, you got to make content somewhere else. And Connor and I have always been super busy with work. So I was like, what can we do that we could just do to like get ourselves out there? And I was listening to a podcast and I saw these guys were doing a video call like this. And I was like, you know what? We have like our streaming equipment. We could do a podcast, just like record for a week or like once a week, and then we're out there. So I think that the webcam version of the show started like maybe 2 years ago, maybe more.
Yeah, it was a while ago. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
And Connor ended up liking it. But we just did not like the webcam version because we do live in the same town together. So it was like, why not build like our own studio? So
like do it in person. So
then last year we pretty much like reset everything. We got rid of all the webcam like videos and all that stuff. And then we just like made our studio and started pretty much fresh there. So I guess the true starting was last year, which October 4th or 5th was our 1 year anniversary.
Oh, okay.
So we just hit pretty much the 1 year, but we had to take off last week. So we really didn't get to
do an anniversary episode, which we will be doing. But we decided that we just were going to wait until like episode 50 and just kind of like do it as like the anniversary episode, but also the big 50. So
the big 5-0.
Yeah, the big 5.
That's funny is we've been doing this over 2 years now, and we've gotten two, like, you know, we did the 1 year anniversary, 2 year anniversary. We didn't do a 50 episode special. Like we skipped that for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did a 1 year anniversary, and we did so much for it that it's just it's a 3.5 hour long episode.
Wow.
So
yeah.
It's awesome. It's like looking back on it, it's like, wow, we were really proud of ourselves for like we're really gonna put something like this out. But that's cool that you guys said the whole studio thing. We've been doing the Zoom call podcast for so long now because we started in the studio Jimmy has over there in California, and I love that. That I like being in the room with everyone. That was my favorite way of doing it. And then the coronavirus hit. Like I think we were doing season 2 at that point. I'm just calling in from my computer. We're still in California, but then after that, everyone moved. Now I'm in New Jersey. He's still in California. So we've been doing it over Zoom for so long now that it seems right. But I'm excited I know one day we'll be back in the studio, and that'll be the ideal way of doing the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if it's like the ideal way. I think it just depends on the people, because I know there's plenty of podcasts that don't ever sit in a studio and do it this way. You know, I know we just live in a time where I guess it just works. So it's just, if we say we lived in different states, we probably would still just convert it back to like a Discord podcast or something in that sense. So
yeah, any of those, like, you know, where you can record on. But like it's like I said, we've been doing this so long that this feels like the right way to do it.
Sure.
But,
right.
You know, going back to you guys, I wanted to read something that I found I like it. I love it, actually. So, you know, obviously before we have guests on, we try to do, you know, some sort of research, not try to be like creepy about it, like know everything about it.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
But like, we don't want to be, you know, you never want to just not know anything.
Yeah.
So I was doing some research on you guys, you know, and we had plenty of weeks to do it, like, you know, because I started talking to you guys almost like a month ago, I think, and we set this up. So I found this. This is I guess you could say this is the bio for you guys.
Man.
Oh no. We like don't update that hardly at all.
I'm gonna read it because I love it. And the first one, it starts, of course, with Derek. And it's a very nice little bio. So it says, funny Spartan, Derek is full of humor and entertainment, no matter the situation. He puts his humor to use on and off the air. He works a full-time job and is passionate about video games and has dreams of becoming a live streamer. Derek's hobbies and passions include podcasting, gaming, and spending time with his wife, Lauren, with their guinea pigs and dog Benson. Stream to Twitch every Friday and Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right? Okay.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
There, Ramsey. I just want to say your reading skills are far superb. The way it's just finagled off of your lips were just so soothing to one.
Thank you so much. And it's a great little bio. I love it. It's very, very wholesome. It's nice. Talk about the pets, the wife. It's very nice. And then we go into helpless hobo. Then we go into Connor, and this one's a little smaller.
Oh yeah,
but I think it also drives a point home and says this. Connor is very passionate when it comes to gaming and is recently single and is only doing the podcast to meet e-girls. Connor has dreams of becoming a Twitch and YouTube content creator, streaming on Twitch soon. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
e-girls. So can we talk about that for a second?
So it was like a running joke at the time.
Yes.
Because I was recently single. I started when we did the webcam podcast. I was dating somebody for like three some years.
Oh,
But
wow.
we ended up breaking up. So we did the studio, and it was just like a running joke because I tend to fall for girls that have like more tattoos and more like in that.
Don't we all, buddy? Don't we all?
So, yeah. And it never so like Belle Delphine was doing everything too at that time.
Oh, that's a bathtub girl, right?
Yeah.
Bathwater, I should say.
We talked about her a lot on the podcast when she was like blowing up. And it was like a running joke that I would like do anything to be with Belle Delphine. So that's kind of like why it was on there and all that. Plus, you know, Derek was in charge of the bios, so of course it's going to be nothing but bashing me. So
Right. Yeah. It wasn't too bad though.
no, it's awesome. I love it. So
Hey, or Bella, what's her name?
Belle Delphine.
yeah, Belle Delphine.
I don't think
You'll
it's
know
Bella
once you
anymore.
see a picture of her, Jimmy.
Is it like one of those ASMR?
No, she did like the bathwater thing where she like was in a bathtub. It was on like she blew up on TikTok when TikTok like was first starting. And then she moved to OnlyFans, and now I think she's like a full-fledged porn star. So
Is she really?
Climb the
yeah, I think so, because I don't think she's posted anything on YouTube, and I mean it's been a long time. The last video
every day,
every single day. So yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, she sold bathwater to like
For
people.
fans. Yeah.
Dude, I read an article on that.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what's crazy is I used to print that shit out to like some people that like, all right, so I'm in the Navy, right? So
Okay, cool.
I've been in the military for 13 years. And I print that shit out to some of my sailors, man. Like they're like, hey, you know, like whenever they come to me and they're like, hey, you know, Chief, I don't know if I want to stay in the Navy or anything. And I'd be like, okay. And they're like, because normally people try to like keep you in and shit.
Sure.
Like, yeah, okay. And they're like, I don't get it. You mean like you're okay with me like getting out of the military? Aren't you gonna try to keep me in? I'm like, hey man, there's bitches out there making 6 figures selling bathwater. Okay, it's 2021.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah, it's crazy.
Get out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think we could do that. I mean, that'd be great if anyone wanted my
Oh,
bathwater.
that'd
I
be
would
awesome.
totally. Yeah, if you really want it, let me know. I'll sell that to you. But I mean, you know, the attractive younger girl, you know, that's why that shit can happen. But you're right, especially for females, they can definitely get out of the military and just start doing shit like that.
Yeah.
Just recently, I started getting into the Twitch community and started looking into some shit, right? And a buddy of mine, like as he's explaining everything, is kind of like going down the line. He's like, yeah, man, so here you go. We got podcasters here. I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, you got this game, you know, you got your Warzoners over here. You got your Skyrims and this and that. He's like, I was like, what's ASMR? Because
boy.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
He's like, oh, that's a place. That's a weird place, man.
It just gets quiet.
For me, like, hey man, let's get fucking weird. So click it, and like there's a chick with the ear mic, and she's like,
Was it Alinity?
I don't know.
Amaranth.
Amaranth is who like rules over all those ASMR girls.
Indie Fox.
Oh
Yeah.
wow! All that. Wow! We're dropping some knowledge here.
we talked about that on the podcast too, because they went from, I don't know if you heard about the hot tub meta, where they were like they weren't breaking Twitch
There's a
terms
loop.
of service, but there was
There's
a
a loophole.
loophole where like you could wear your bathing suit, which is pretty much like your underwear, as long as you were swimming. Like you couldn't do it if you were just on camera. So they would blow up these hot tubs in their rooms and fill them with water and then stream in their like panties and pretty much like show off their bodies, which I was like, hey, you know, if you got it, show it. You're going to make money. I was never like, wow. But there was like a lot of incels that were like totally against it. Well, Twitch like kind of changed the rules, so then they all went to ASMR. So now they're doing the ear licking stuff.
Yo,
so
these females are clever, man.
they are.
Oh yeah.
They know how to make some money and get some fucking downloads, man. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We just got to start.
They're gonna find a way, man. But
we got to find a way to lick in
that, like the little the tub thing and like the bubble baths and the shit like that. I saw this one where she was dating, and I guess like she'd be like, the worst attitude I've ever seen, but it was working. She's just laying in a hot tub and she's like, okay, guys, so who's next? And she'd do like 5-minute dates with these guys. And she'd be like, so tell me about yourself. And he's like, oh yeah, so I'm a fucking this and that. And she's like, well, hey, we're all going to rate you now. What do you guys think? Should I give him a second date? And people are like, fuck no.
That's actually like super funny. Like that's something I would watch just because like it just blows my mind that guys would like call in and pay the money to do that stuff. But man, that is crazy.
You know what's crazy? I know this is kind of the same. And then we'll get back to video games. I swear.
This is fine. Totally,
this is great.
This is right down our alley.
Yeah, exactly. So I have never made an OnlyFans account to watch someone's OnlyFans, right? But I will say, because I've never been really interested. Like I don't like I could. If I wanted to watch something, I can just go online and find something for free.
Sure.
What is enticing is now I see on my Instagram girls that I went to high school with in the past that post they are making an OnlyFans. And I haven't, but I'm not gonna lie that like there is an interest. Like what? Like I kind of want to see that. I don't know if that's happened to you guys at all, but it's actually there's been like 5 girls that have done it now.
There's been a few in our high school that I've seen on Facebook post something like they're and I'm like, wow, right on Facebook. Like
I know
you're friends with hundreds of people that you went to high school with that you might not have ever talked to, but there's probably some guys in here that were like fond of you, and you're just gonna put that out, and your family and all that. I mean, like I said, I don't think against anybody that does the stuff. I think it's cool that like there's that opportunity out there, and I think it's safer than other ways of doing it. So
yeah, it's just weird knowing the girl in your math class.
Yeah,
like there's this specific girl who's posted on Facebook that she has an OnlyFans now, who used to let me like copy off of her test in math class. So
nice.
It's like part of me wants to see it.
The biggest driving point that I took away from that, Murmsy, is that you created an OnlyFans account.
Is that I created an OnlyFans account?
You were there at the login, and then you're like, I don't know if
I was like this close to putting in a password. I'm like, I can't do it.
This is the way to pay her back for letting you copy off of her.
Yeah. Now you're making me like just like want to like I'm doing a good thing here. Like
to go back on the bios and the Belle Delphine thing, and the whole OnlyFans thing, and you talking about an account when Belle Delphine came out and said that she was going to post her first porn shoot on OnlyFans. I was so close to spending. It was like $30, and I was like, I might do this just so we could talk about it on the show. But
that's why. So it'll be an honest discussion for an hour.
Quotations. But
he was going to take a hit for the boys.
Yes.
Yeah. So close, but it ended up leaking anyways. So I just watched it there, and then we talked about it from there. But it was. So I understand like there's like that weird drive where it's like I'm so close to doing it, but then you think about it, you're like, I shouldn't be spending $30 or even any money on this kind of stuff. So
yeah, especially after
get that post remorse though.
Here we
go. Let's talk about this. We're gonna dig into this, but when you do the thing in your own time,
the deed after the deed, sometimes you're just like, the fuck did I just do?
Yeah, I know exactly. I think every guy goes through that. It's like, wow, that's just not a good thing.
That wasn't me.
Yeah.
I talked about that on the podcast that like that first 15 minutes after, that's like when I'm the smartest version of me. Like that's like when I could like write a novel because I don't care about all that other stuff right now. I've gotten that out of the way. that post nut, I think they call it, is something, man.
Yeah,
It's like
I'm just saying, like, if you spend $30 on a porn after that, you're just gonna be like,
what did I do?
what did I do? My bank account took a hit. Comes to the back, like he said, right? He's like, do it for the boys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
All
god.
right.
So
Gotta
hey,
explain it to your lady, like your girl next to you.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's
even
not
worse.
me, it's for the boys, okay? It's for the
Yeah, it's
podcast.
for the show, okay? It's for it's
No.
for the show.
that's a good excuse now, is like you could just say like I swear it's for the podcast. I swear.
Oh yeah, like buying stuff for like the podcast. There's like always the excuse of like, honey, it's for the podcast.
It's for the podcast.
Yeah, like
just-
equipment and stuff.
we could do
Equipment
anything.
and
Like
Expect the equipment to be as pricey as it is, or like as affordable as it is. How'd you feel about it?
I think that it's kind of weird because we bought like really good mics, and they're pretty expensive, but there's so many other mics on the market that are like way cheaper that to me are so close to what we do already. While audio is like really, really important, it just kind of depends on what you're getting, I guess. Like cameras, I think are like way over expensive for like a decent quality. There's like a big gap in price where you can get something that's like mediocre at a decent price, and then if you want something that's like a little step higher, it's like $1,000. Like it's crazy jump. So
With cameras too. Every year, just like the iPhone, there's something else dropping, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's hard to keep up because it's like you just spent $5,000 on this camera and it's irrelevant 3 years later.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they go out quick. We've been wanting to like upgrade our cameras because we feel like they have like this fuzziness to them, but it just takes so much money to replace them all.
yeah.
yeah,
Um,
because we don't use one camera. We have
Mhm.
4, 5, 6 cameras now, with our producer Ryan in there. So it's like we don't want to upgrade like 2 of them, and then like 2 of the main cameras also have a grain while the new ones look good. So it's kind of like you have to buy all the cameras at the same time. So
Yeah, this just definitely isn't the cheapest form of show business to get into, you know.
yeah, no, for sure.
It's not like what would be the cheapest? What, maybe like just performing in a play or a musical, maybe?
Buying a
Scrabble.
blow up tub and turn it on your webcam.
Or
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah.
turn on just a cheap old webcam and just going at it on camera, man.
Throw
That
on
might be-
some your bathing suit and just
Yes.
sit in a tub
Yeah.
of water.
tub of water. Well, so now
Oh.
I have to ask, before we get into one of our favorite segments here, have you met any e-girls?
Have I
From-
met any e-girls personally? No. Well,
No.
I
A lot of
I
them have been
did-
coming to me because I've been getting offers to sell feet pictures.
he has
Really?
he
Yeah,
has.
Oh wait, you know what? I remember. Didn't you talk about that on an episode?
I think we
Yeah.
did.
Yes. Wait, can
Yeah.
you please? Okay. Yeah. Again, without these, we want people to go listen to your show, but maybe give us a quick little.
Oh yeah, we
about
don't
that.
mind talking about like the whole episode or anything.
Let's just play a whole episode right now and then go back to us talking.
So what happened was I go out of town for work, and
Okay.
usually I use that time to network on like social media and stuff because I'm just sitting in a hotel,
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
and or I sometimes edit video too. But this time I was networking, and I get a DM in Instagram,
Yeah, it was Instagram.
and I mean you can usually tell when it's like, okay, this might be like a scamming person or trying to get them to go to your OnlyFans. So I kind of like have fun with like humoring them. And this is on like my personal, not like the waiting in queue one. So I'm just kind of like messing with them and like keeping them run along. They're like, hey, I have a lot of money. I want a sugar baby. And I'm like, okay. Then she's telling me how much money she has. And then I'm like, so this is obviously a scam. She's just trying to like get my information to say she's going to send me money. Then she's just going to take it. And then when she got more into the description of like what she wanted from me, because I was like, well, what are you getting out of this?
Yeah.
Really? And she goes, I just want someone to be dependent on me. And then every time I do send this money, I will be receiving feet pictures. And I was like, wait, this might be real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when he messaged me, and
I
I
was like,
started.
dude.
I immediately like. I'm always playing video games, so I'm like always at a 3 monitor setup. So he texts me and I immediately start Googling things. I'm like, okay, we got to see if this is real. Like, what are the tactics that like these women use? And when I looked it up, that's exactly what happens, like word for word almost. So I was like, okay, this is crazy, Derek. This could be a real, you could get some money here. It would be easy. But Derek ruled that it was probably just fake. We kind of all did once we kind of like, we looked her up on Facebook and there was like nothing there. So we're like, okay.
It was kind of hard to tell if it was real or not. Obviously, it's just safer to rule that it is fake.
Yeah, for sure.
And then and looking into like how those people work with like the feet pictures, they say if you do run along with it and it is a real thing, that eventually the feet pictures won't be enough. They're gonna want more nudity from you and stuff like that. So it's just like, no.
The building
interesting.
blocks.
Yeah, the building blocks.
Building blocks. It's to gain that trust. Like, yeah, we'll just start with the toe, you know?
Make the big toe.
Big toe. Start from the ground up.
Just do a zoom away from your toenail.
Emoji? What's the emoji?
There's a toe emoji?
No, the dick emoji. What is it?
Oh, grapefruit or a plum?
Eggplant.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and then the eggplant hit the BN and be like, like, oh,
yeah, that's what
that's when you go to your fridge and you just legitimately send the eggplant photo.
Yes.
You put it like in
like
your pants
this?
so like it bulges out.
That's a great story though, because I've never encountered that, but it's interesting that someone asked a man for his feet pic. I feel like that doesn't happen nearly as often as the opposite.
Well, see, here's the weird thing though. I feel like there's like a shift. Like females are getting pretty masculine, man, and they're becoming kind of like the new driving force of the sex. Like they're like,
what do you mean they're becoming masculine?
Dude, like women are becoming,
you mean like
aggressive in the relationship.
Yeah, they're taking charge in the sense of like sexual activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
I think it's coming out more that like girls are feeling freer to come out and be like, I'm into these things and I always have been.
You know what?
Guys were never really afraid to be like, oh, I like this about women, or I like to do this with women, while girls were kind of more taught to be like, okay, well, you just do what you do, instead of like, now they're like, okay, well, I like this. So
yeah, that reminds me of a story when I was dating this girl, and we were living together actually for a little bit, and I remember it was just so nonchalant. I'm sitting on the couch, like nothing was going wrong in the world. It was just nice. I'm sitting on the couch with a beer watching TV. She comes back in, she went to get the mail, and she's just sifting. I remember she sifted through the mail in her hands, and she kind of walks up to me and she's like, hey, next time we have sex, I think I should put something in your ass. And I remember just turning and looking up at her, and I'm like, you're not supposed to ask me that. I'm supposed to ask you that. Like, this is not how that happens. So I think you're right.
It's like I'm stuck in the old ways. But no, have you ever seen like an old school Western or some shit? And it's like the wife is like, well, Johnny, I'm gonna go down to the market. And he's like, the market is no place for a woman, Isabel.
Yeah.
Market.
We're getting out of those times.
Well, we're phasing out of it because, I mean, especially once these boomers start leaving us, a lot more things are going to change. We might go to the metric system even for measuring.
Really?
Oh, man.
No, that's just.
I know. Yeah, we're not doing that. Fuck
I have heard about that one world currency coming though from the World Economic Forum, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna own everything. You'll own nothing, but you'll be happy.
Perfect.
Like, that seems really weird.
I'm all for it.
You own nothing.
Well, I'll be happy though.
I guess if you're going to be happy, who gives a shit, right? I guess that's how it should go. But hey, guys, before we talk about being happy, before we segue into that, I want to segue into, one of our favorite segments we do here at Great Morning, and that is, of course, the word of the day.
Oh boy,
word of the day. Oh, and how the word of the day works, guys. I know you're on computers here. You should be looking at Jimmy's screen there. I don't know if you see that that big old Jimmy. Can you touch it for me? real quick? Can you just touch it lightly? Like, oh, there you go. Yeah, so we call that the big old dick, right? That's the big old dick in the room there.
Okay.
It's an old dictionary that it's been passed down Jimmy's family for generations. It's signed by Webster himself.
Wow,
so it's got a bunch of old words we still use today, of course. But it's got archaic words in there too that aren't used today. So how the word of the day works, though, guys, is Jimmy's going to open that dick up, and then he's going to put his finger down on that dick, and then he's going to lift his finger up, and whatever his finger landed on will be our word of the day. Now, with season 3 of Great Morning, we have our guests then use the word after Jimmy, gives the definition, spells it. I'll give the modern day definition if it needs one. We have the guests then do a sentence with the word. And at the end of this season, which is coming up, we are going to rate the top 10 guest sentences for the season.
Here we go. Connor, we have double the chance to be featured here.
So, but here's how it's going to work with you guys, because this is not the first time we've had multiple people on at the same time.
Okay. Damn it.
So you're each going to get a different word.
Oh,
so that's how we can keep it fair.
I'm terrible on the spot.
Yeah. So say like Derek went first, and like Connor's like listening, like, okay, I'll definitely not do that. I got a much better sentence for that word. That way it's fair. But
sense.
I will ask, do either of you want to volunteer to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay, Derek will go first. Great. So Jimmy, whenever you're ready, man.
Yeah. This thing be bringing demons to my house, man.
Yeah.
I believe it. Look at that thing.
Very delicate.
I'm downstairs at like 3 a.m, and I'm looking at my office, and I was like just this old man in a Colombian, like old, like crazy war outfit from like 1812 and shit.
Oh my God.
Fucking musket.
Looking through
All
the
right.
book.
Not cheating.
No, we see you. Don't worry. It's funny when we have guests that are on from their phone. He's got to like keep talking in the mic, so he's like up on the Zoom screen.
Yeah,
He's like,
sure.
and he just like puts his finger down.
Oh, this is a dope word.
Okay.
Sweet.
Should I do this ASMR since we talked like that earlier?
Oh boy.
Like bring this in like sentimental. Today's word is. All right, give me a minute. This is a tough one.
Oh boy.
Oh, fuck
You
me.
need time to say it.
Today's word is opistoglossa.
Oh
good
my
luck.
God.
Opistoglossa.
Can you please spell it?
Opistoglossa. OPISTHOGLOSSA. And it is.
Oh my God.
Silentia. It's having the tongue attached in front and free behind.
What does that mean?
I think that is the hardest word we've had this season.
Holy cow.
Hold on. A division of amphibians of the order Silientia, having the tongue attached in the front and free behind.
So what's the word again?
So this is the modern day definition. So, and it's pronounced the best. I'm going to do the best I can as well with the dashes it has. It's pronounced opistoglossa. Opistoglossa.
It was like Harry Potter's mad.
Yeah, it sounds like a spell. Yeah. Opistoglossa. And it is a division of Silentia, which I think is an amphibian, comprising amphibians with the tongue attached in front and free behind. So it is a certain type of amphibian, it's a certain type of tongue that belongs to an amphibian.
I feel like
So when it says like
words that somebody during the revision process of the English language, they looked at and they were like, yeah, we'll just keep that one the same. Next.
Yeah, we'll not fuck around with that one. All right, what were you going to say, Derek?
so the way it says it's like attached from the front and free from behind.
Yes, and I don't really know what that means, but yes, it says that.
My thinking is that it's like the tongue is more attached to like maybe the front of its mouth, and then it's like free in the back. Something that's just how I'm kind of taking it, I guess.
Jimmy, could you possibly bring up a picture for us?
Oh God.
Yeah, fuck it.
Let's see if Jimmy, and we'll give you a second to think of the sentence, of course.
Yeah,
watch Connor get like pony after this.
Yeah,
like
easy.
This word went from dope to complex real fast.
We're here with you, okay? So let's check it out. Go ahead and give me a spell.
opistoglossa. Okay, so it's THOGLOSSA. Let's go. Yeah, images. See if there's an image.
That's it.
Google has one page.
I've never
word,
seen that before.
Does this word even exist anymore?
Unreal.
I told you there's some archaic words in there.
I've never seen Google have not even a full page of anything.
Okay, wow. I looked it up too. I clicked on that frog photo, and it'll take you to Wikipedia. Like, click on the link, and it says it's a type of frogs with only 2 species. Oh no, that's the actual. It's a small genus of. No, that's not even right. That's different.
Yeah, it's got like the same beginning to the word.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find it like in a sentence, but no one said this fucking word.
It's just like a classification, not even like
this research paper on it. Like,
you might be the first human being to use this word in a sentence in like 80 years. So
sweet.
Code. Okay.
So again, it's pronounced opisthoglossa. Opisthoglossa.
Opisthoglossa.
Opisthoglossa. Opisthoglossa.
Opisthoglossa.
My wife and I did opisthoglossa in bed last night. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Jeez.
Fuck it.
Hell yeah.
God.
Yes.
Oh.
I think that was literally the most difficult word we've had on the show. What do you think, Jimmy?
Yeah.
That was a tough one.
Nobody's even using that word. That could be a brand.
All right. Great job, Derek. Thank you doing that for us. Don't worry, we have all the guests go through this torture, but now of course you get to watch Connor go for it. So
Connor.
Jimmy, can we please flip through wherever you want in there and give Connor a good old word there, buddy?
A good old word. What a great
good old word there.
Cringe. I know that was cringe. But had to reset the mood.
Oh, the clapping, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
Oh boy.
Internecine.
Can you spell it, please?
Murderous. To kill. To slaughter. Between the care to kill. INTERNECINE. Internecine. Oh, internecine.
Yes, and this is a more modern day word. Internecine. Destructive to both sides in conflict. That's the modern day definition.
So something in conflict.
Destructive to both sides in conflict.
We literally do this every Sunday when we record the podcast.
Internecine, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Internecine. Internecine.
Destructive to both sides, pretty much is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. E-girls can be internecine to both sides, female and male.
All right. There we go.
Not bad.
That's it. Wow, guys, thank you so much for doing that. That was, of course, our word of the day segment, and I think we'll let you know shortly. Actually, I think we can say it on the podcast, Jimmy. Isn't this our last group of guests that are doing the word of the day? So we can officially like go through and rate all of them, right?
I believe so.
I believe you guys are it. So after this, we will get our not right after this.
What? Maybe
right.
Yeah, maybe the last word of the day guests. I think we actually have another guest.
Well,
one more.
Yes, we'll talk about that after. But yes, you guys will definitely be one of the last ones. So we'll get back to everyone shortly with that top 10. But I think you guys, what is that? That makes them, oh God, what is that? 28 guests we've had do it? 29 maybe?
Dude, I don't know, man. All I know is I went to Google and saw half a page today. That's fucking amazing.
It's like a line.
Before we get into anything else here, I do want to talk to you guys about, of course, one of I know you guys did an episode on it, and it was probably one of my favorite video games of all time, maybe, but like also when I was a kid. And that is, of course, Knights of the Old Republic. And I know you guys talked about the game and how even in the title, I think you guys say it's not just going to be a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? Did you guys played the original then, right? What was that, 2003 that came out, right?
Yeah, I played it on the original Xbox.
Yes, that's what I played it on too. Yeah.
Yeah. I never actually owned it. My neighbor, who was older than me, probably about, I think he was only like a year, maybe 2 years older than me at the time. He had it, and I used to go over there and play it all the time with him. Like we would just take turns and just play it. So I think it's still one of the best games like ever made. So
it's a great story. I mean, maybe that turn-based system is a little old for today, possibly, and obviously, it can look better. But that's one of the greatest Star Wars stories ever told. You could even say. And I just wanted to talk about that real quick. So how do you think they'll go about remastering it? Do you think it's still going to be like that turn-based, or do you think they're just going to make a whole like new game just with like the old voices still or something?
I thought they were just upgrading like the graphics and stuff and leave the game like how it was. Because that's really what makes money these days, is like hitting the old like nostalgia feel of like, I played this game before, I want to play it again in a not outdated machine. I kind of just think that I just thought that they were just going to remaster the graphics and bring it on the new systems.
Is it BioWare that's working on it?
I'm not 100% sure who's on it,
because they did the original, right? It was BioWare, right?
Yeah.
I think guys did Mass Effect. So that's why I was wondering. I was like, I'm like, will they try to make it more like the combat, like the last Mass Effect was, or something? I don't know.
Well,
they might.
For us that like don't play that many video games, or for the listeners, right?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Can we get like a consensus of this, like a summary?
So Knights of the Old Republic is a Star Wars role-playing game, right? So it literally was turn-based, the combat, which means like you'd pick a move to do in a fight, and then your turn's over, and then the enemy would go, or your allies would go. There was a lot of games like that.
Like Pokemon.
Yeah, like, okay, yeah, that's a great example. Yes, like any Pokemon game. Yeah, exactly like that. So that's how it was. More though, like the RPG elements, so you could like explore Star Wars worlds and stuff.
You had the opportunity to like run around, and it was still like in third person. So it was like, I mean, if you played Skyrim's in first person, but in the sense of like being able to run around and kind of explore. But if you were in a combat situation, it was like turn-based. It
would do turn-based, yeah. So you could do that whole exploration. And then you could like, what was cool about it, I don't think it was the first game to do that, but you can be like a good guy, like a Jedi, or you could be like a bad guy, like a Sith, right?
Yeah, it definitely was like a turning point for that, because I know Fable then came out, and Fable was like that. And then you had because I mean, you had Fallouts prior that let you do that, and you had like Elder Scrolls prior to what everybody knows as Skyrim and Oblivion. But you had like Daggerfall and Morrowind, who had the choice of being bad or good too. So
I didn't even know that's the Daggerfall's the second Elder Scrolls, right?
Yeah, you had Arena, and then you had Daggerfall, then you had Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim, and then now we have Elder Scrolls Online.
Yes, and then the sixth one was announced a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, but we haven't seen anything since the
we haven't. They just
announcement.
Todd Howard just fucked with us, and then
pretty much
said deal with it. What do you know what that other game they're producing? Bethesda, by the way, we're talking about right now. There was another game they were going to do first, then probably Elder Scrolls, something about in space. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
That's an Xbox exclusive. Because Xbox is doing exclusives now. Because they own Bethesda. Yeah. So any new IP coming out of Bethesda Studios will be an Xbox exclusive, which means you probably will be able to play it on PC too if you play on PC, because they're kind of like integrated. But it's some space game called like Starlight or something like that.
It's
but they only
with Star.
Yeah, they only showed like a cinematic trailer, but it's supposed to be like super open world, kind of like
it's I heard it's going to be like how you can play Skyrim or Fallout 4, but space stuff.
Yeah.
The trailer?
Dude, is there a trailer?
I mean,
There is.
play,
I
right?
mean, yeah, there's a cinematic trailer. Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong if we played their trailer, right? Because that's just free promotion.
We've been dinged before on
Yeah.
YouTube for playing a trailer, but if you guys are just on
Apple
Podcast,
stuff like that.
you'll probably be fine.
What do you want to do? What do you think?
I
kinda wanna
say
check the trailer out.
Yeah, I say let's check it out. So we can watch it. We can get a feel for it real quick.
What's this called?
That's the thing.
It's something with Star. I really don't know.
Type in Bethesda Star game, and then hopefully something
Give
comes
me
up.
a starter. Like, does Bethesda start with?
It's called Starfield.
Oh, Starfield. Okay.
Yep, I just looked it up.
Oh, Starfield trailer.
Yeah, it comes out 11/11/22.
15
11,
million
11,
views,
22.
dude. Wow.
Yeah, they hinted to the release date in the trailer before they released the actual release date.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when these trailers come out, a lot of fans just dissect the crap out of any little hint that they will just get out of it.
Every tiny little
Check
thing.
it out.
Let's watch it real quick. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Alpha. In-game footage. Creation Engine 2.
We have you on scanners.
From the award-winning
Performing remote
creators
system
of
check.
Skyrim and Fallout 4. A brand new universe. 25 years in the making.
We're still go.
Bethesda Game Studios.
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Super cool warehouse introduction.
They say the wonder is not that the field of stars is so vast, but that we have measured it. You're part of Constellation now, part of our family. What you've found, it's the key to unlocking everything.
We reach your constellation.
This is all we've been working towards.
Jonathan route looks good.
We've come to the beginning of humanity's final journey.
Prepare for departure. Graviton loop array full. Check.
And if you want to check the rest of it out, you guys can go on YouTube and check out Starfield.
Oh, that's what you're gonna do, huh?
Damn.
Yes, that looks pretty fire, actually. You know, I'm not really the biggest into video games, but sometimes what I do like to check out something every now and then just to kind of escape reality, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm excited for VR too.
Yeah, VR is killing it too. They're just adding more and more like super awesome games.
I'm pretty excited for when they bring those like treadmill like type deals like in the consumer's hands, not so much like somewhere you pay to go do now.
Yeah.
That's when I'll be really like wanting to invest in VR probably.
Yeah, because I don't have
With the
anything.
treadmill, I think that's
it.
whenever like EA Sports, right, is really because right now people make crazy money like on 2K and Madden tournaments and shit, right? But whenever you actually have to like be athletic, but you're a game avatar and like you're on that treadmill and like you gotta like that shit's like real, like then, dude, people are gonna be losing their minds.
Wait, are you saying like we're going to be able to play in virtual reality at one point? Like I'm going to be able to play Tom Brady in a Madden game and just see everyone there try to rush me and shit like that? That's how it's going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
VR tries to like put you like in that spot of like you're in the game.
That's
I would say in the
Pretty cool.
future, there's probably a good chance that you'll see stuff like that. I mean, you have like Half-Life and then you have Phasmophobia, which like,
Oh, I've seen guys play that on YouTube. I think that's the one where they go into a house, right? And then there's like a ghost.
yeah,
They're trying to, like,
you're like ghost hunters and you have to like set cameras up and somebody stays back in the van and kind of watches the cameras while everybody else is in this like spooky house or warehouse or wherever. And the ghost keeps popping up and you're trying to like hunt down the ghosts. It's super cool.
That sounds like a fun game. If Jimmy and I get that equipment, the four of us should do a video of us playing that.
Oh, that'd be
one of
awesome.
those games. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I just upgraded my stuff too, so I can do VR. I just need a headset now.
I
also
need
need one.
everything. I don't have a single piece of it. I don't even have. You know what? Oh yeah, let's talk about that real quick. I don't even have the fucking new PS5 or Xbox Series X because they're still hard to find, and it's almost been a complete year now since they've come out.
Yeah.
What the fuck happened there?
I don't know. We don't have them either. While we play primarily on PC.
Yeah.
But I would like to get one for the studio. So when we do our Let's Plays, we can play off that. But they're just, it's the only way of like getting one is being lucky through a raffle or buying it like way upcharged on StockX.
But it's been almost a year now. How could they? I don't understand how that's possible. Like, it's the most sought after, possibly video game product, right? And it's not available for a year. What is happening?
There's like a couple things of like either the companies are being truthful with like not being able to get them out there, or they are holding back for like some sort of publicity like stunt of like keeping them in demand for whatever reason.
Yeah, and then you see them on eBay. Someone's trying to sell it to you for like $1,500. It's like, hey, go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah. You got to be careful with scalpers. I actually bought a new graphics card off of StockX. I bought a 3060 Ti, but they were really low at the time that I bought it. So I spent an extra $150 on a graphics card that's like only supposed to be priced like $500. So, there's always going to be people who like buy it at that upcharge. So that that kind of stuff will just never go away. And StockX, and eBay, it's not illegal to resell something for a profit. So that's where it's like a weird line where there's like no percentage. Somebody could sell it for like $2,000 and not get in trouble for selling it because someone buy it. So,
and then you also have the problem of like those bot accounts that are set up to watch those websites, and as soon as they go live, those bots are like on the dot, like ready to buy the whole stock. I think Nvidia, the graphics card company or the PC part company, they're actually trying to implement a way for gamers to get like first dibs at new stock of like graphics cards, and then you can only buy one.
Yeah, they do raffles. So if like you're trying to get an Xbox or a PlayStation or a graphics card, you can go to Newegg, or you can go to like Nvidia does it for their graphics cards, but you sign up for a raffle. And what it does is every time stock comes in, it does a random selection of like 10 people out of the raffle, completely random. And those 10 people get to buy whatever they want without having to fight bots. So I know a couple guys that have gotten or have won the raffle on Newegg and purchased a few graphics cards now. I was actually talking to them last night because they were asking me about mine and New World. So
okay, well, okay, so that's okay. I like that. And then I want to say one thing though, real quick, because I think Jimmy's gonna say it. Jimmy, don't you have either? It's either the new Xbox or you have the PS5, right?
What a snitch, man! You out here.
Which one do you have?
He's silent.
Yeah, I'm out here like I'm about to go play the PS5 later.
I totally got that shit. I mean, he got it. I'll explain.
Right? Like, the PS5 is like super. I bought it for my son originally.
But where'd you get it from? Is what I was gonna say.
Shit, I think I will keep this for myself. But I have like ADHD or something, man. I get really bored with games really quick. And I kind of wish I invested more into PC because you can go back and forth between platforms. Like, you don't have to worry about something only being out for the PlayStation. And you don't really have to worry about something only being out for Xbox because PC usually gets like best of both worlds.
It sure does. I would say going PC in college was the best decision I've ever made as somebody who plays games all the time. Like, if you're going to play all the time, just invest in a PC. They can be more expensive, but they last longer. And I'm using a PC that's like 8 years old that I built myself and just put a new graphics card in it. And it still runs with like 8-year-old parts, but I'm able to play Xbox games. I'm able to play PlayStation games. I can't play exclusives, but even then people find a way to do it. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I think another thing too is like you said, you can like consistently build and update on your memory, your RAM, your storage. And I kind of wish I didn't buy my iMac that I have, because I do a lot of video editing, right? Been doing it for years. And I'm just like, man, I need more RAM. Or man, I wish I can't just tap in and install that shit. You know, it's like.
Yeah, I know Apple's really good at producing products that are like good for editing for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
But the upgradability there, I feel like they purposely make it so you can't do that. And Apple's like been caught before by like slowing down phones so that way you go out and buy the new phone. So, you know, Apple's
shit. It's annoying trying to have an iPhone for more than 4 years. It's like, no way, man. You gotta get that new fucking one.
And I have like, I don't believe in the whole like console war bullshit or the Apple's better than Samsung thing. I mean, there's specs out there that can prove an argument for like electronics, but like nobody looks at those except for like people like you know, me and Derek, or I don't know how into the specs you guys get for like electronics, but like we're always researching that stuff before we buy it. So it's like when somebody comes up and they're like, oh, the PlayStation's so much better than the Xbox, I'm like, that's fine. It's your opinion. I don't really care. But I know what's inside the Xbox and I know what's inside the PlayStation, and I can tell you which one legitimately runs things better.
And which one is it?
With the new consoles, it's the Xbox Series X. It has a faster processor and a little better graphics card, but it's so minimal that it does not matter. Buy whatever your friends play on and play with your friends. Like do it that way. Don't buy it because like the fad of like a PlayStation or an Xbox. So
I hope Microsoft I hope they sponsor us now, because such a nice comment. That'd be fantastic.
I wish.
You know, before we're getting close to that time. But before we close things out, I want to ask both of you, in your opinions, what do you think is one of, hopefully the number one, but one of at least greatest video games ever made from each?
I already have my already have my decision.
Okay.
Derek, go ahead, Derek. You go first.
It's so hard for me because, you know, like Halo was always like my first pretty much game I was ever introduced to.
Halo was your first.
Yeah, it was my first.
It was. I was the one who was like, yo, you should get Xbox. You should play Halo and we should play it together.
Yeah.
Well, no, because awesome. we didn't have Xbox Live and you were trying to convince me to get Xbox Live to play together. Because my dad came home just out of the blue one day with an Xbox and Halo. And I was like, oh, what is that? And he just showed it to me. And ever since then, I've just been like, oh my God, I freaking love this game. I've actually been replaying Halo with my wife to like share this experience of like,
oh, that's awesome.
This is like my childhood. And it's so
Halo
cool.
The game then?
I'd have.
And is it like Halo Combat Evolved, like the original, or like would you say like
original
Halo 2?
Series?
See, that's a hard question because in my heart, Halo 1 such a good campaign and like it's so fun. It was my first, but then like Halo 3 had like the multiplayer, like best of all time.
That's when I think I started playing that.
Yeah.
Halo 3.
And then I absolutely loved Halo Reach. I don't know what it was about it, but that one was.
That's a sad story. I remember the campaign and that was sad.
It is. The top two Halo games, I think, for most people, it's like it's Reach and Halo 3. So
yeah.
You know
what would you say is the worst Halo then?
Let's
do that.
5.
Halo 5, maybe 4. I think 4 had a decent multiplayer, but the story has just kind of driven in a weird way. I like the story, but I would say 4.
Would you agree, Derek?
I would say 5. I didn't like 5 that much.
Okay. And there's the new one coming out, right?
Yeah.
Halo Infinite, yeah.
Yeah, the multiplayer. Oh boy, it looks so good.
All right, cool. So we got Halo Combat Evolved for Derek. Connor, you got an answer for us?
Okay, so there's 2, the more I think of it, but there's one that comes to my head right when you said the question, so I'll say that.
Oh,
okay.
Boy.
and Derek might be able to guess this already.
Can I guess it?
Yeah, I'll go ahead, Derek. You guess it.
Is it Destiny?
It is Destiny. I think
Oh,
Destiny,
really?
Yeah, I think Destiny, which is also from the creators of Halo,
That's
the
Bungie,
original
right?
Halo. Yeah, Bungie. After they sold Halo, they put out the new IP, which was Destiny. And I remember in college when it came out, I played beta, and ever since then, I'm still playing the same character, and I play it every week still. And we're on. I mean, it's been 8-9 years, and I've never played a game consistently that long. And I'm a huge like lore junkie, so I go outside of the game, and I'm always telling Derek, like, because he used to play it. I'm always telling Derek like what's happening in the story, like who's died, who's come in. I've like just met a lot of cool guys playing like raids in that. And I remember the first time we beat Vault of Glass, like Derek was wearing a suit because he came back late from like a wedding or something. I don't even remember what it was. And we were like all at his house, like 3 of us, while we like linked up with 3 of these other guys who I still talk to about Destiny all the time. Yeah, Destiny is just phenomenal. I really enjoy that game. So
Wow. Okay. So we got Halo Combat Evolved and Destiny. And then one more question for you guys. This might be a little tougher. What is a video game? Each of you could pick, a different one, of course. But what is a video game that has been like a lot of people like it, maybe even critically acclaimed, that maybe you would say is a little overrated?
Ooh. Oh,
Like Halo.
Like Halo, you could say Halo. I mean, I don't think Derek's going to say Halo, but I mean,
that's coming from a PlayStation guy, though. So
yeah.
And I'm not a gamer either. So
yeah. Derek, go ahead. You go first. What's a game that you think is overrated?
I think it's overrated. Yeah, I haven't really been that much of a hater like on video games, just because video games has always been like that thing of like, if it's what you like, then play it. Like nothing against you. Like,
yeah, of course.
I'm not going to be like a fan of The Sims, but I'm not going to say I hate The Sims.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't enjoy playing it,
Well,
but other people find it.
You don't have to say you hate it. Just like, what game do you think is like, because it could be, because I know what mine is, and it's a game that I've spent thousands of hours in. So,
oh my God. So, okay. So you can definitely be like, oh, this game, but you played so much of it. That's interesting.
God, overrated.
Just like, you don't have to hate the game. Just like,
you're right. No, but I'm just saying, like, I've never like even like thought like, oh, people are just like overrating it. It's just, that's what they like. So I've never like
there's
in
no
your
game
terms, in your terms, there's got to be a game that you are like, man, I just don't see the hype behind it.
I got one.
You got one, Jimmy. Yeah, let's hear it.
Warzone.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
I think that's a great example, actually.
Like, I've spent a lot of time playing Warzone, and I feel like, everybody capitalizes on it, but now it's literally, to me, it's just who's the first to get that trigger, because it's all the perks and all the bullshit and all the stuff that you get and weapon uploads and just so much shit into it that it's like, okay, I feel like it could kind of go one-sided in a certain way. And like, people play it so much, like they're doing crazy tricks because the map is the same, and I just feel like it's overrated.
Mm-hmm. That's a good answer. Yeah, I think that's a great answer. I was gonna say, before we let you guys go, then too, since we can say that, I was gonna say mine was Fortnite. I really can't get into it.
Yeah,
it's tough. The kids
Dude,
today, they're fucking amazing at it.
So good at that game.
I can't do those things all at the same time, like build and then shoot. Like I'm too old, I think. I don't know, but it's
those guys that build, like the way they build and watching them like from a keyboard side is absolutely phenomenal. And I think they're some of the most talented like video game players ever, but it's so like I can't step into that. I just can't compete. There's just no way. So,
whenever they made Fortnite, do you guys ever imagine, like, was it supposed to go down like this, or did
no, not at all?
Nope. Because I feel like Fortnite was supposed to be like you could build a giant fort, you know what I mean, and kind of go at it. But kids and shit are just like, I could just build a wall, climb.
Yeah, I don't think they expected it to be like that, like where you was like ramp wall for cover. I think what they really wanted people to do was to harvest stuff, build a fort, and then fight fort to fort.
Yeah. And that does not happen.
And I think it makes it really hard when you put in a battle royale stance is that you can't like hunker down on a fort for too long because you got to keep moving because of the zone.
Yeah, the map it gets shorter, right? Or smaller, I should say. Yeah, so that would be mine. Jimmy, I think Warzone's also a great answer for overrated. But Derek, do you think you thought of one?
I'm gonna say Fortnite then, only because at first I didn't think it was overrated. I thought it was a lot of fun at first when it first came out. Mm-hmm. I think now that it's kind of died off, people do. I think it's overrated now that like we have these other games that are coming out that you could play for just as much fun. So I'd say as of now, Fortnite is overrated.
All right, so we got 2 Fortnites, 1 Warzone, and then Connor, you got something for us.
I mean, this kind of goes on the Warzone thing, but I've never been a fan of battle royales anyways. I think they kind of ruined the structure of games, but I'm just going to say like Call of Duty as a whole. I think the name is overrated, and I think there's been way too many garbage Call of Duties compared to the good ones that people only buy it because it says Call of Duty. So I think Call of Duty as a whole is like insanely overrated because there's plenty of really good shooters out there that you can play that like can fill that spot. Like we played Splitgate for like 3 months and that game is insanely good. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's just, I think Call of Duty and Warzone like tops that for me. I don't understand the hype behind it. And I think the only reason there is a hype behind it is because you got streamers who make so much money off of it. So. Oh yeah,
totally. And that's a great point with the Call of Duty. I was going to say, I remember, I think it was Call of Duty World at War. So 5, I think that was in the series.
Yeah.
When they did Nazi zombies. And that was like amazing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Came out and that was the best thing. And then like not long because like I joined the Navy and then like I didn't have time to play video games a lot. And I came back home one time. My little cousin had, I forget which one. I think it was like maybe Infinite Warfare. I don't know if that's right.
Oh,
one of them that had a weird zombies and there's like gumball machines and there's an octopus and I'm like, I don't know what's happening anymore. Like I can't play this shit.
That was Advanced Warfare and Infinite, and those were like, I think the worst Call of Duties ever made. So, I mean, obviously for me, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and Modern Warfare 2 and 3 were like the best, I think. Ever.
Modern Warfare 2 was a great game. I didn't play the first Modern Warfare as much, but yeah, they were both great games.
But that's mine. Call of Duty for sure. So.
Okay, those are some great answers. And then one last one, and then we're gonna wrap up the podcast. And that is, if you guys were stuck on an island and they could only send you one video game to play, not that's been out, but one that has been announced to come out in the future at some point.
An announced game. Okay, an announced game.
This could go bad.
It can be any game that's had like a trailer out already, or it could be any game that like they're like, oh, by the way, this is going to come out probably in like 5 years, but it has been said to come out. So you could pick, like for instance, we talked about Starfield today, or you could pick The Elder Scrolls 6.
Sure,
because that was announced. But yeah, not a game that's already out. No, I wouldn't even say like it has like a beta, like none of that. Just like pretty much.
Okay.
So see, Connor, we got to think about this because this could go bad. Because you know how video games are now.
Yeah.
They seem really good, even in beta, and then they come out and they're bad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you each get to choose one. So, Connor could have a different one than Derek, vice versa.
Sure. Wow. So Fable was announced. The new Fable was announced. But so was like Elder Ring. But I don't think I could force myself to be in pain the entire time I play forever. I would probably say Fable. I'm a huge Fable RPG fan, and there's literally no gameplay of this new Fable, but there was a trailer, and the trailer was enough for me to be like, I'm gonna pick Fable because I just remembered the times of playing that game. The new Fable.
There it is. Right there.
I'm gonna pick the Settlers. The new Settlers that's like coming out. I love like those type of like strategy games where you're like controlling an army. But the Settlers like series have always been like you're building a city and then building an army to protect that city pretty much. And like you're trading with other cities and all that stuff, kind of like Age of Empire, I guess. But the new one that's coming out, it's a lot more worrying about like the city, and like you have armies, but you don't have to like go super crazy on like telling them like how to fight the other team. They kind of like do that themselves. And I think that kind of gets a little overwhelming when you're trying to like send the archers over here to take out their catapults, send the and I get kind of lost in the playing of the game, that I don't get to actually enjoy watching the battle, which has kind of been like what I like to do. Kind of casually play it. And that's a game I could definitely like play for a long time. So I think the new Settler game, is that allowed if it's already a series?
Yes, it could be. I'll allow that because it's not out yet, the new one.
Yeah. What if could it be an expansion to a game that's already out?
No.
I would say no. I want like a new game.
I was gonna say
but then you can only play the expansion.
Yeah,
for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Then you can only do the expansion part.
No, I'm out. Okay, I'm out.
Yeah. So yeah, those are great answers though. I'm excited for that new Fable too. So I think I don't know what I'd pick, but you know what's funny is hopefully when those games come out, we can go back and remember this episode of Great Morning and see if you guys were maybe right in those assumptions that those are great games you'd like to be stuck on an island with, or if they're bad, like, you know, like, this shit sucks. So
we can only hope. I thought Anthem would be that game for me, but that was doo-doo ball.
So, you know, we'll see in the time to come when those games come out. So I'm excited to see that. But, you know, we are going into that sad time of the podcast. There it is. That sad time where, you know, we bring things to a close, but we're going to go around the computer screen and we're going to do our last minute plugs. So before we get into our honored guests, Jimmy, my friend, of course, you got any last minute plugs for listeners?
Yeah, you guys know what the fuck going on. You guys check me out on Instagram at Slightly Special with 2 L's on the end. That's Slightly Special with 2 L's on the end. Go ahead and reach back. You know, actually, it's kind of crazy. I haven't really been that active, so there's probably not much to, check it out. But if you want to give me a follow, go ahead and just give me a follow. No big deal. And I'm excited for what we're doing with season 3, man, and how we're wrapping it up. You know, we got a Halloween special coming on. Murmsy, I'll let you talk more on that. And yeah, there's just some things in the works that are going to be coming out for season 4. So January of 2022 is going to be pretty exciting. And if you guys want to get that sneak peek, you guys can check us out on Instagram. But also, I guess I'll give Steph's a shout out as well.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Co-host who was unable to make it. You guys can follow her on Instagram at YouLoveSteph. That's YULUVSTEPH.
No, I thought her Instagram is just YouLoveSteph_0.
Right,
I think maybe a 0 at the end. Yeah. I'd have to get the exact spelling of that, but of course
she'll be tagged in every single post.
Yes, we tag her.
You guys can get it, man. But yeah, it's kind of weird not having her here for the episode.
Yeah, she was not well today.
That's all I got.
All right, awesome. Great last minute plugs, man. And then my last minute plugs before we get into our honored guests are, of course, you can follow me on Instagram, my personal, that's Christian D. Murm. You can follow the Instagram, the podcast Instagram, that is Great Morning _ the podcast. You can follow, of course, Jimmy and Stephanie, that is YouLoveSteph_, and that is Slightly Special with 2 L's at the end. You can follow Trip God Jimmy, that is TRYPGODJIMI. You can follow Great Morning _ the podcast on TikTok as well. And then follow Steffi. I think that one's Steffi __0 on TikTok as well. That is for Stephanie. Stay tuned. Of course, we have the Great Morning Halloween Spectacular coming up on Halloween. We've been doing a lot of work for that, guys. So, you know, please tune in for when that comes out. And we are, of course, still working on the season 3 finale, which will release. We have the release date of November 18th. So stay tuned for that as well for Great Morning stuff. Oh, and buy the merch, of course. Always do that. We appreciate that. But moving along, going to get into our honored guests here. We loved having you guys on. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know everyone's schedule, like, you know, we had to like push it back a couple of times, but I really appreciate you guys being able to take the time today and come on. And whenever you can, just let us know if we could possibly pop on there. I'm sure I would love that to be on the show as well.
Yeah.
I know Jimmy would. I know Stephanie would as well.
Fun.
But really, it was an honor having you guys on. You guys are fun to talk to, and you know, I like the video game talk here every once in a while too as well.
Yeah,
so that
thanks,
is, of
guys.
course, the waiting in queue guys. Derek, Connor, you got any last minute plugs for listeners?
Derek has more than I do. Go ahead, Derek.
Okay, go for it.
I'm pretty much on everything. Instagram, Twitter, not Facebook actually, so not everything.
Don't go on Facebook.
No, not on Facebook. YouTube, I'm on Twitch. Just type in Funny Spartan. I'm Funny Spartan for everything. I try to make it as simple as possible.
Thank you.
I stream on Twitch every Thursday and Friday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So if you ever want to check that out, I'm right
Playing
there.
some Sea of Thieves and Warzone lately.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Where can people find the podcast?
You can find the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. We also have a merch store.
Yes, I see your hat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes, that's part of it.
Right there.
Hats, sweaters, everything. You could just search "waiting in queue." That usually pops everything up. We're on TikTok, Tinder. We're on Tinder.
We're good. Yes. Look us up
TikTok
on there.
and Twitter is what I meant to say. So if you're on any of those, you can just search up "waiting in queue" and find us there. So
The
I should
OnlyFans
do
is
that.
coming soon.
The OnlyFans?
yeah.
Yes, great. We've
gonna be
also
sick.
discussed an OnlyFans. Yes, that'll be fantastic. We'll try to release them at the same time.
Perfect.
Well, that was awesome, guys. Thanks for last minute plugs. Again, we really appreciated having you on. This was a really fun episode. We hope to have you guys on again in the future.
Easier word on next time.
Yes. And that was, of course, our episode. Great morning.
Great morning.
Great morning. Great morning. Great morning.